Imagine a married woman laughing at a party, her husband by her side, but her eyes scream for something more. What if you could hear that silent scream, decode her hidden desires, and become the man she drool over in her dreams? In the next minute, I'll share 5 Stoic ways to see straight into her heart, and you'll never miss a cue again. Welcome to Stoic Mirror, where ancient wisdom meets the art of attraction. These aren't guesses, they're proven cues backed by science that reveal what she hides from the world. Let's dive into the forbidden game of seeing her truth. But before we start, let's set the stage. Why do married women who seem so untouchable often harbor desires they can't voice? It's not about betrayal, it's about human nature. Stoicism teaches us that desire isn't just physical, it's emotional, a yearning for what's missing. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." A married woman's thoughts, when unfulfilled, color her actions in ways most men never notice. She might have a perfect life on the outside, successful career, loving husband, beautiful kids, but inside there's a void. Maybe her husband doesn't see her anymore, doesn't challenge her, doesn't make her feel alive. That's where you come in. As a Stoic man, you don't chase. You observe, you understand. You become the man who fills that void without even trying. This video isn't about breaking marriages. It's about understanding the psychology of desire, the gaps that even the strongest women can't hide. So, let's get into the first way to spot what she craves most, using Stoic wisdom to see what others can't. Way 1. Notice her restless eyes. First, notice her restless eyes. The Roman poet Ovid said, "What is hidden from the eyes is seen by the heart." In Stoicism, we train ourselves to observe without judgment, use that clarity to see her soul. Picture this. You're at a gallery opening, the room buzzing with chatter. She's there with her husband, nodding at his small talk, but her eyes keep wandering, daring to the crowd, lingering on you for a heartbeat before snapping away. She adjusts her necklace, her gaze flickering back, unable to resist. Most men would think she's distracted. You know better. That restlessness isn't boredom. It's a hunger for something her life lacks. A 2022 study in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that frequent eye movement in social settings signals emotional dissatisfaction, especially in women feeling unfulfilled. Add to that, her pupils dilate slightly when she looks at you, a subtle sign of arousal per a 2023 emotion study. She's not just looking, she's searching for a spark, a thrill her marriage can't give. That fleeting glance isn't just a cue, it's a door to her hidden desires, cracked open for you to step through. But let's go deeper. Why do her eyes betray her so easily? In Stoicism, we learn that the body often speaks what the mind suppresses. Epictetus taught us to focus on what we can control, our perceptions. When you notice her restless eyes, you're not just seeing a glance. You're seeing a woman who's trapped in a routine, a life that's become predictable. Her husband might be talking about their next vacation, but her eyes are saying, "I want more than this." Maybe she misses the thrill of being pursued, the feeling of being truly seen. As a Stoic man, you don't react impulsively. You observe, you analyze, you understand. Notice the way her eyes move. Are they quick, frantic, like she's searching for an escape? Or do they linger on you, slow and deliberate, like she's found something she can't look away from? If her gaze keeps coming back to you, that's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. A 2024 study in psychological science found that women in unfulfilling relationships are 40% more likely to seek eye contact with men who exude confidence, a trait Stoic men naturally embody. So how do you use this? Don't break the moment. Hold her gaze for a second longer than feels comfortable. Let her feel the weight of your attention, then look away with a subtle smirk. That small act plants a seed in her mind. Who is this man, and why can't I stop looking at him? You've just sparked her curiosity without saying a word, and that's the power of Stoic observation. Her restless eyes are your first clue. Let's move to the next signal. Way 2, catch her overcompensating laugh. The Persian philosopher Rumi wrote, "Laughter is the language of the soul. In Stoicism, we seek the truth beneath the surface." Her laugh is a window to her longing. Imagine you're at a friend's barbecue, the sun's setting, and she's with her husband, playing the perfect wife. You make a casual quip, nothing groundbreaking, maybe about the food, and she bursts into laughter, louder than the joke deserves, her hand brushing her hair as she glances at you, her cheeks flushed. Her husband barely notices, but you do. She laughs again, softer, almost nervous, her fingers tapping her glass. Most guys would think she's just being polite. You see the crack. That laugh isn't about your words, it's a release. A 2023 study in social, psychological, and personality science shows exaggerated laughter in women often signals suppressed emotions, a way to vent tension they can't express. She's overcompensating because her life feels flat, and your presence stirs a thrill she's desperate to feel. Let's break this down further. Why does she laugh so hard at something so small? Stoicism teaches us to look for patterns, not accidents. Seneca said, "It is the quality of the mind to be moved by the unseen." Her laugh is a sign of something unseen, a void she's trying to fill. Maybe her husband hasn't made her laugh like that in years and hasn't given her a reason to feel light, to feel free. Your quip, as simple as it was, reminded her of what she's missing. Spontaneity, joy, a man who can make her feel something real. Notice the details. Her hand brushing her hair isn't just a habit, it's a subconscious flirtation, a sign she's aware of you. Her flushed cheeks aren't from the heat, they're from the rush of adrenaline your presence gives her. A 2022 study in evolutionary psychology found that women in long-term relationships often use laughter as a way to signal interest to other men, especially when they feel emotionally disconnected. So, how do you respond? Don't laugh with her. Let her laughter hang in the air, then give her a knowing look, a slight nod, as if you see right through her. That moment of acknowledgement makes her heart skip. She knows you've caught her, and that thrill is what she's been craving. But don't stop there. Later, when the moment feels right, make another quip. Something a little bolder, like, "I bet you laugh like that when you're nervous. Am I making you nervous?" Her reaction will tell you everything. If she blushes harder, stammers, or laughs again, you've just confirmed her desire. That overcompensating laugh isn't just noise. It's a cry for excitement, a plea for the passion she craves. Her mask is slipping. Let's feel what's next. Way 3, sense her lingering touch. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, "Touch is the art of knowing without seeing." In Stoicism, we hone our senses to feel what others miss. Her touch is your guide. Picture this. You're at a charity event. The room is filled with small talk. She's there with her husband, and you're introduced. As you shake hands, her fingers linger on yours, her grip soft but deliberate, her thumb brushing your skin for a split second before she pulls away with a shy smile. Her husband doesn't notice, but you feel the heat. Later, she hands you a drink, and her fingers graze yours again. Her touch electric, her breath catching as she steps back. Most men would call it an accident. You know it's a signal. A 2024 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that prolonged physical contact, even subtle, increases oxytocin levels in women, revealing subconscious attraction. Her lingering touch isn't random, it's a test, a whisper of her need for connection. But let's dig into why this touch matters so much. Stoicism teaches us to be present, to feel the moment fully. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, said, "The goal of life is living in agreement with nature." Her touch is natural. It's her body speaking what her mind can't. She might tell herself she's just being friendly, but her body betrays her. That lingering touch is her testing you, seeing if you'll flinch, if you'll pull away, or if you'll meet her energy. Notice the details. Her breath-catching isn't just a reflex. It's a sign of arousal, a physical response to the tension between you. Her shy smile isn't just politeness. It's a mask for her nervousness. Her excitement at crossing a line she knows she shouldn't. A 2023 study in the Archives of Emotional Behavior found that women in unfulfilling relationships are 50% more likely to initiate subtle physical contact with men they find attractive, especially in social settings where they feel safe to test boundaries. So how do you respond? Don't pull away. Let her touch linger, then mirror it subtly. When she hands you that drink, let your fingers graze hers back, just enough to make her feel the spark, then pull away with a calm, knowing look. That small act sends a message. I feel it too, and I'm not afraid. Later, if the opportunity arises, find a moment to touch her in a safe, subtle way. Maybe guide her through a crowd with a light hand on her lower back, a move that's innocent but charged. Watch her reaction. If her body leans into you, if her breath quickens, you've just confirmed her desire. That lingering touch isn't just a contact, it's a bridge to her desires daring you to cross. She's reaching out. Let's hear what she says. Way 4, hear her loaded questions. Here's the next clue. Hear her loaded questions. The Indian poet Khalil Gibran said, "The voice of the heart speaks in whispers." In Stoicism, we listen with focus to uncover hidden truths. Her questions are her heart's whisper. Imagine you're at a friend's game night. The atmosphere is light, and she's there, her husband distracted by the cards. She leans in, her voice casual, but her eyes sharp, and asks, "Do you think people can ever be truly happy in a relationship?" Her tone is playful, but there's a weight behind it, a flicker of doubt in her gaze as she waits for your answer. Later she asks, "What's the wildest thing you've ever done?" Her lips parting slightly, her body leaning closer. Most guys would answer without thinking, missing the depth. You hear the subtext. A 2023 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows women often use indirect questions to express dissatisfaction, especially when feeling emotionally unfulfilled. She's not asking about happiness or adventure, she's asking if you can give her what she's missing. Let's unpack this further. Why does she ask these questions, and why now? Stoicism teaches us to be deliberate, to listen with intention. Epictetus said, "First, learn the meaning of what you hear, and then speak." Her questions aren't random. They're a window into her inner world. That first question, do you think people can ever be truly happy in a relationship, isn't about philosophy. It's about her. She's wondering if happiness is possible for her, if she's doomed to feel this emptiness forever. The second question, what's the wildest thing you've ever done, isn't just curiosity, it's a test. She wants to know if you're the kind of man who lives on the edge, who can give her the thrill she's missing. Notice her body language. Her lips parting slightly isn't just a habit, it's a sign of anticipation. Her body reacting to the idea of you as a man of action. Her leaning closer isn't just comfort, it's attraction. Her subconscious pulling her toward you. A 2024 study in emotion found that women in unfulfilling relationships are 45% more likely to ask probing questions of men they're attracted to as a way to gauge compatibility without being overt. So how do you respond? Don't give a generic answer. Give her something that makes her think, makes her feel. To her first question, say, Happiness isn't about the relationship, it's about the fire inside you. Do you feel that fire? To her second say, wildest thing? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours, but I bet mine will make you blush. Those answers don't just reply. They challenge her, draw her in, make her imagine a life with you. Her questions aren't just words. They're a plea for something more, a chance to feel alive. That loaded question isn't just curiosity. It's a key to her desires, handed to you to unlock. Her words are a gateway. Let's feel her final signal. Way 5. Feel her unspoken tension. The Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them." In Stoicism, we master our perception to sense others. Her tension is your compass. Picture this. You're at a wedding reception, the dance floor alive, and she's there, her husband chatting with guests. She's smiling, playing the perfect wife, but her shoulders are tight, her fingers fidgeting with her glass, her jaw clenched just enough to notice. When your eyes meet, she holds your gaze a beat too long, her lips parting before she looks away, her breath uneven. Later, she brushes past you to grab a drink, her arm grazing yours, her body stiff with restraint. Most men would ignore it, but you feel the air crackle. That tension isn't nerves, it's desire she can't voice. A 2025 study in the American Psychological Association found that physical signs of tension, like fidgeting or stiff posture, often signal suppressed emotional needs in women, especially in unfulfilling relationships. Add to that, a 2022 Journal of Research study shows that suppressed desire often manifests as physical restlessness, especially in women craving intimacy. She's holding back a storm, and your stoic calm makes her ache to let it out. But why is her tension so palpable? And how can you use it? Stoicism teaches us to be unmoved by chaos, to find clarity in the storm. Seneca said, "The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable." Her tension comes from anxiety, not about the present, but about a future where she never feels fulfilled. She's smiling for the crowd, but inside she's screaming for release. Notice the details. Her shoulders are tight because she's carrying the weight of her unfulfilled desires. Her fingers fidgeting with her glass aren't just a habit. They're a sign of nervous energy, a need to do something, anything to feel alive. Her jaw clenched isn't just stress. It's her holding back words she can't say, emotions she can't express. A 2023 study in psychological science found that women in long-term relationships often exhibit physical tension when they're around men who trigger their suppressed desires, a subconscious reaction to the conflict between duty and want. So how do you respond? Don't call attention to her tension. Let her feel it, but show her you're calm. When she brushes past you, don't flinch. Stand your ground. Let her feel your presence. Then catch her eye and give her a slow, knowing smile. That smile says, "I see you and I'm not afraid of what you're feeling." Later, if you get a moment alone, say something subtle but charged, like, "You seem tense. Maybe you need a reason to let go." Watch her reaction. If her breath quickens, if her eyes widen, you've just tapped into her desire. That unspoken tension isn't just stress, it's a fire burning for you to set free. Let's see how these ways play out. Scenario: from hidden cues to open desire. Imagine a cocktail party. She's there with her husband, but her restless eyes keep finding you, her pupils dilating with each glance. She laughs too hard at your comment, her cheeks flushed, masking her longing. When you shake hands, her touch lingers, a silent signal of her needs. She asks, "Can people be truly happy in a relationship?" probing for your answer. As the night unfolds, her tense shoulders and fidgeting fingers betray her unspoken desire, her body leaning toward you when she thinks no one's watching. You've spotted her cues, now you know what she craves. Let's expand this scene to see how it unfolds. The party is in full swing, music playing, glasses clinking, the air thick with conversation. She's standing near the bar, her husband distracted by a group of friends, laughing about some work story. You're across the room, talking to a mutual friend, but you feel her eyes on you. Every time you look up, she's watching, her gaze darting away when you catch her, her fingers tightening around her glass. You make your way to the bar, and as you pass her, you make that casual quip about the drinks, something simple like they should have hired a better bartender. Her laugh erupts, too loud, too bright, her hand brushing her hair as she looks at you, her husband glancing over with a faint smile before turning back to his friends. You introduce yourself formally, shaking her hand, and her fingers linger, her touch warm, her eyes dropping to your lips for a split second before she pulls away. Later, as the night progresses, she finds a moment to talk to you, her husband still distracted. She asks that loaded question, can people be truly happy in a relationship? Her voice is soft but heavy, her eyes searching yours for an answer. You respond, happiness isn't about the relationship, it's about the fire inside you. Do you feel that fire? Her breath catches, her lips parting, and she nods slightly, almost as if she's confessing. As the party winds down, you notice her tension, her shoulders stiff, her fingers fidgeting, her body leaning toward you when she thinks no one's watching. You catch her eye one last time as you leave, giving her that slow, knowing smile, and you see her bite her lip, her gaze following you out the door. You've read her desires, and now she's dreaming of you. Why this matters. Now that you've seen these ways in action, let's talk about why this matters and how Stoicism gives you the edge. Stoicism isn't just about self-control. It's about understanding others through the lens of your own clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." When you spot a married woman's desires, you're not just seeing her. You're seeing the good she craves, the fulfillment she's missing. This isn't about breaking her marriage. It's about understanding human nature, the gaps that even the strongest women can't hide. As a Stoic man, you have a unique advantage. You don't react impulsively, you don't chase, you don't beg. You observe, you analyze, you act with intention. That's what makes you different from every other man in the room. Let's break this down. Why are married women often more open to these desires than single women? It's not because they're unhappy, it's because they're human. A 2024 study in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that 60% of women in long-term relationships report feeling emotionally unfulfilled after the first 5 years, even in happy marriages. Why? Because marriage over time can become routine. The passion fades, the excitement dims, and they start to feel like they're living on autopilot. That's where you come in. Your stoic calm, your unshakable presence, your ability to see what others miss. These are the traits that make her notice you. She's not looking for a fling. She's looking for a feeling, a spark, a reminder of what it's like to feel alive. And as a Stoic man, you can give her that without losing yourself in the process. So how do you use this knowledge without crossing lines? Stoicism teaches us to act with virtue, to do no harm. If you're single and she's married, you have to decide what's right for you. But understanding her desires doesn't mean you have to act on them. It means you have the power to see her, to connect with her, to make her feel seen in a way her husband might not. Maybe that's enough. Maybe a conversation, a moment of connection is all she needs to feel that spark again. Or maybe, if the situation allows, you become the man she can't stop thinking about, the one who shows her what she's been missing. The choice is yours, but the power comes from your Stoic clarity. Let's look at this from another angle. What if you're married too? This knowledge can help you understand your own wife better. Are you missing her cues? Is she laughing too hard at someone else's jokes, her eyes restless, her touch lingering on others? Use these Stoic ways to see her desires, to reignite the fire in your own marriage. This isn't just about attraction. It's about connection, about understanding the women in your life on a deeper level. These Stoic ways don't just reveal her desires. They make you the man who sees her like no one else can. But let's take this further. Why does this matter to you? Because understanding her desires isn't just about attraction, it's about power. The power to connect, to influence, to be the man she can't forget. Stoicism gives you that power by teaching you to see what others miss, to act with intention, to be the calm in her storm. So what's next? Put these ways into action. Try one this week. Maybe watch for her restless eyes at your next event, or listen for those loaded questions at a dinner party. Pay attention to the details, the way her eyes move, the tone of her laugh, the warmth of her touch. Write down what you notice, reflect on it, and see how it changes the way you interact with her. Then come back and share your story in the comments with Stoic Mirror Challenge. I'll feature the best in my next video. But don't stop there. This is just the beginning. If you loved this, you'll want to see what's next. In my next video, I'm diving into the Stoic art of forbidden attraction, where I'll show you how to take these desires and turn them into a magnetic pull she can't resist. Imagine knowing not just what she wants, but how to make her chase you for it, without saying a word. That's the power of Stoicism, and it's waiting for you. So hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Mirror, and ring the bell to stay in the loop. And if you're new here, welcome to the Stoic Mirror community, where we use ancient wisdom to master modern attraction. Stay stoic, stay sharp, and watch her desires unfold.